The cart's wheels crush the grass as I transport the last batch of supplies into our campsite. Outdoor camping mat, stove, folding chairs. Phew, that's everything. Zayne, who's in charge of setting up the tent, looks up from the instruction manual.
Thank you for your hard work, Chief of Logistics.
It's nothing. This can barely be considered a warm-up. Looking at the tent that has yet to be assembled, I walk over to Zayne. So how's our Minister of Housing doing? Do you need some help? Zayne gives the instruction manual a little shake.
I understand the theory, but I ran into a slight problem with the practical application. If you're willing to help, that would be perfect.
I pick up 2 corners of the inner tent and spread it out. Meanwhile, Zayne crouches down to compare our setup with the diagram in the manual.
Ah, the poles were threaded through the wrong loops. No wonder it wouldn't stand up properly.
He quickly adjusts the crossing poles, then we raise the tent and position it properly. You're somehow a professional and an amateur at this. Zayne secures the 4 corners of the tent before pulling out the rainfly from a bag.
I can't tell if that was a compliment or a critique. I set up tents during department retreats. However, I've been too busy these past few years to keep up with it. Now I can barely remember anything about the outdoors.
He passes me 1 corner of the rainfly, and we unfold it together in perfect sync.
But it's okay. I've committed the technique for setting up a 2-person tent to memory.
As we smooth out the rainfly, Zayne walks to my side and gently brushes against my shoulder.
I'm certain this skill will often come in handy from now on.
While Zayne's tent-setting skills might be a little rusty, his dessert-making abilities are still impeccable. The desserts he packed from home are still crispy. After the satisfying meal, I sink into the folding chair and look at the starry sky. If there's a shooting star right now, I'd wish for...
For?
I close my eyes as I speak. I purposefully act out an exaggerated display of sincerity. I wish I could have Zayne's desserts every day from now on, especially the freshly baked ones. As soon as the words leave my mouth, I realize how greedy my wish sounds. Every day might be too much. I'll settle for whenever Dr. Zayne isn't busy. 1 second passes, and then 2. Yet all I hear is the whisper of the wind. Is he going to say anything? I open one eye to sneak a peek at him. He catches me in the act, and an irrepressible smile appears on his face.
You don't need the help of a shooting star to grant a simple wish. I'll take its place and make it come true myself.
Above us, the Milky Way shines like a crystal in the darkness. It's as if we've stepped into another world. It's so beautiful. Thankfully, I followed my doctor's advice. He always says that looking up at the sky is good for my neck and shoulders.
Your doctor is correct, so you should definitely listen to him.
Something warm brushes against my lips. I glance down. Zayne is holding up a freshly grilled zucchini, waiting for me to take a bite.
Your doctor says you've been eating nothing but grilled meat and desserts all night. You should have some fiber, too.
He's got a point. And with the way he's looking at me, there's no room for argument. I take a bite. But before I can even taste it, Uneven grains of salt melt on my tongue, making me instinctively frown.
Not good?
No, just bit my tongue. It's not salty at all. Try it yourself. Before I can carry out my plan to get Zayne to fall for my trap, I suddenly sense a faint energy fluctuation.
What's the matter?
There's an energy fluctuation, but my watch doesn't detect anything unusual. Zayne moves closer to me and places a reassuring hand on my back.
We should check it out just to be safe. I'll accompany you.
We carefully patrol the perimeter of our campsite, and after we've confirmed there are no signs of any wanderers, we relax. Weird. Why would it?
Being vigilant is always a good thing.
If I sense anything else tonight... Zayne gently pats my head.
Then we'll do another check.
You trust me that much?
Of course. I trust you unconditionally. Except for...
Yes?
Except for when you tell me it's not salty at all.
When I wake up, every muscle in my body feels grateful for the air mattress Zayne picked out. I unzip the tent and leisurely start my morning stretch, but then I freeze. In the clearing near our campsite, an imposing tower had appeared out of nowhere. Zayne!
I just saw on the news that...
Zayne steps out of the tent and seemingly forgets what he's about to say upon seeing the sight before him. What about the news? Zayne pulls his gaze away from the tower, pausing thoughtfully for a moment before showing me a news article on his phone.
Last night, the Deepspace tunnel experienced another intense disturbance. As a result, several new spatial anomalies have appeared in various locations. After reviewing the nighttime surveillance footage, it's been confirmed that these spaces exhibit no abnormal energy readings. Citizens are free to enter and exit.
Your fluctuation sensing skills are spot on.
But this is the first time a spatial anomaly appeared right in front of me. Now that I know it's harmless, the tower which had looked so ominous before seems much gentler. When we make eye contact, Zayne understands what I'm thinking.
Do you want to check it out?
A lot of time passes before we find the tall tower's entrance, and then we're greeted by a long flight of stairs once we're inside. It's like they were waiting for us. Zayne and I breathe a sigh of relief when we finally enter the spacious, level Great Hall. Phew! I feel like I did half of my daily workout quota by climbing those stairs.
It certainly is exhausting.
Building a long staircase. Has the tower's owner never left this place? Or maybe he was thinking... I clear my throat and deliberately lower my voice. I shall build this tower to be far above the station of mortals.
I see. So this is your definition of being above your station. But there might be another reason behind it. For instance, perhaps he dislikes being disturbed. Or he wants these stairs to discourage anyone who wasn't truly committed to visiting.
You seem to understand his train of thought. I wonder if the tower's owner would consider you a confidant if you two met.
I'm different. I actually enjoy being disturbed by you. And if we ever had a tower like this, I would carefully consider the dimensions of the entrance's stairway.
After circling most of the tower, we become more certain about us being the only people here. We enter the main hall on the first floor, and there stands a massive throne of a peculiar design. This throne, is it made of ice? My curiosity gets the better of me as I sit on the throne. I run my hands along the massive ice pillars to my left and right. Do you think this belonged to a king? I lower my voice and strike a regal pose as if I'm about to give out commands. We shall deploy 5,000 troops. We'll capture that city and crush our enemies in one fell swoop.
You're a natural at this.
As he approaches, I change my pose. Or maybe the throne belonged to a foreseer who delivered prophecies from the gods. Leave me. I've received a divine message. Zayne stands off to the side, lost in thought. It's only when I wave a hand in front of him that he snaps back to reality. What's on your mind? You've been quiet for a while.
I was just thinking, how did I never notice you had such a talent for acting?
A hunter needs to be flexible. Besides, I'm putting on a good show. Why aren't you playing along?
I was playing along, though.
Zayne points to where he had been standing during my royal performance.
Over there, I was playing the role of a royal messenger who didn't dare to speak too much in the royal court. And now, I'm a silent yet devoted messenger to a foreseer. I may not have any lines, but I've played my part.
Zayne's deadpan attempt to explain himself is so amusing that I've decided that I had enough fun. I stand up and move closer to him. Then may I ask this messenger a question? Would he like to help this foreseer move her living quarters? We spend half the afternoon moving our camping stuff into the tower's bedchamber. My gaze is drawn to an unassuming door covered in ice and snowflake-like patterns whenever we pass it. As we pass by the door once again, Zayne and I stop in our tracks at the same time.
Since we're curious, let's go in and take a look.
Behind the door, that's no bigger than a person, is an unexpectedly vast space. Shiny flower buds are scattered on the floor. Meanwhile, bookshelves loom over us. I can't even see the top of them. Is this a library? Why are there flowers growing in a library? I lean down to get a closer look at the buds. Jasmines? But these are different from the ones I've seen before. When I touch the tightly closed bud, I unexpectedly feel a chill. They're made of ice? Zayne bends down to gently stroke the iced jasmine, his movements so familiar, as if greeting an old friend.
As expected, not a single flower has bloomed.
The crystalline buds refract brilliant light, yet they remain tightly closed. They appear lifeless. I walk to the bookshelves as sunlight streams down from the skylight. It illuminates the dust particles in the air. Where's the ladder? The shelves are so tall. Are we supposed to fly to reach the top? I hear the sound of ice forming behind me and turn to look. An ice crystal traces an elegant arc through the air. Did you use your evil?
No.
As he speaks, Zayne extends his hand. He makes the ice crystal hover above his palm.
It's the ice crystal here, but it seems like I can control it. It probably appeared just now to answer your question.
Zayne taps the ice crystal, and it immediately flies down to our feet. The ice crystal expands under us and forms a platform. It steadily lifts us into the air. This is amazing. Zayne, do you think you can learn how to do this? Then we won't have to wait for elevators anymore. He puts his hand on my waist to steady me.
We can use this to go to your window next time I walk you home.
Be careful. The neighbors downstairs might call the police. I guess you need your own tower to use these conspicuous ice crystals. As my gaze sweeps over the various books on the shelves, I grin. They remind me of the medical textbooks in Zayne's home.
Is there a reason why you're smiling again?
I was just thinking that if you had a tower this large, part of it would be a library.
Probably.
His fingers trail along the bookshelf. With a library this big, we could put research materials here, case files there, reference books over there. As for this spot, I excitedly start imagining what the future library could look like, and he just listens quietly. When I turn to ask for his thoughts, our eyes meet, and his somber expression softens.
How about we put your books here? If there's room, I'd also love to add some feel-good stories with happy endings.
If we do that, you'll be in the library for the entire day, and you'd make me stay inside with you. I tease him while I pull out a few random books from the shelf. The text is incomprehensible, but the illustrations are easy to understand. There are so many pictures of jasmines. Whoever owns this place must really like them. Zayne seems to eagerly take the book from my hands, though I'm not sure if it's the illustrations or the strange writing that caught his attention. I stand quietly to the side, taking in the entire library from above. My gaze sweeps over the dome and stained glass windows, but in the end, it's the unopened iced jasmine on the floor that draws me in, uncontrollably. It's a shame they haven't bloomed yet. The view from here would be beautiful.
It's possible they don't bloom at this time, or the conditions aren't right.
My stomach lets out a low growl, yet it echoes in the empty library. The pages close, and the playful smile reappears on the face of the person behind the book.
Regardless of when these jasmines bloom, at the very least we can say it's dinner time.
On our third day of camping, we follow our original plan and spend the whole day hiking in the mountains. The weather suddenly changes on our way back. When we return to the tower, we're completely soaked. Thankfully, the tower's fireplace is still working. We put in the wood we've collected and finally get a fire going.
Do you feel a little warmer?
Zayne adds 2 more branches to the fireplace. I feel much better now that I took off these wet clothes. Come here, you should eat something. I bring 2 bowls of instant noodles to the fireplace. After looking around, I decided to use one of the stone stools as our table. This spot is perfect. We have a table, and we're close to the fire, The only downside is having to sit on the floor.
It's fine. It adds to the camping atmosphere.
We sit down on the floor beside the stool. I start to eat, and the hot broth warms my stomach. Contentment washes over me. Sitting on the floor to eat might not be elegant, but there's something wonderfully nice about this. It's like we've gone back to a more ancient time.
Indeed. I suddenly have the urge to go hunting after our meal.
Devouring some noodles, I pat the stone stool and lean back against it. Who knew having a low table would actually make things more comfortable?
If you like it, I wouldn't mind getting a low dining table for our home.
No thanks. I'd rather not have hunting become the after-dinner activity when I come over to your house. After staying here for 2 days, do you feel like this place can be called home?
Yes. And since we're on vacation, it's even more relaxing than being at home.
I shift back against the stone stool and stretch out my legs. I've been thinking about something for the past few days. What if we just kept living in this spatial anomaly?
I suppose you've already concocted a plan.
I wouldn't say that, but I do have some ideas for renovations. The empty space in the back would be perfect for a garden with flowers and vegetables, and the curtains in the bedchamber can be changed.
If you want better sleep quality, using blackout curtains would be ideal.
The library should stay as is, but we definitely need a kitchen.
Let's design an open plan one. Then you can have freshly baked desserts right away.
That's a good idea. I approve. The firelight is reflected in Zayne's eyes. As for the Great Hall, we should have some large, plush rugs. They can also cover the stairs.
We can put 2 recliners on those rugs. Then we won't have to sit on the floor anymore.
In the dancing firelight, we keep imagining different ways to decorate this tower. It's as if our plans could become reality at any moment. Why hasn't the owner decorated this place, though?
Maybe only one person lives here.
Lost in thought, Zayne adds 2 more logs to the fireplace.
It takes 2 people to make a house feel like home. When you're alone, it's often just a place to stay at. And you tend to make do with the bare necessities. It doesn't only apply to decorations. Take eating, sleeping, and daily life, for example.
Have you lived like that before? He turns to look at me, and a shadow briefly appears in his gaze.
Yes. In Skyhaven, in Lincoln City, throughout university, when I just started working at Oxo Hospital.
How did you live back then?
I would volunteer to clean the lab after class. I also spent time sitting idly in the office after my shift. I occasionally bought groceries while walking around, but I'd usually only remember to eat them right before they spoiled.
Why?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's because I had no one to share anything with. I couldn't find the motivation for most things.
Perhaps realizing his tone had gotten too solemn, Zayne gives me a slight smile. But his expression only makes my heart ache in a way I can't really describe. Zayne, are you afraid of being alone?
Not at all. I've simply learned to accept it, grow accustomed to it. I even allowed it to reshape my life.
As he speaks, he slowly clenches his fist.
But I don't enjoy being alone. I don't want to enjoy it.
I place my hand over his and caress it twice.
When I think about the past sometimes, I wonder what I would have become if we never saw each other again.
His voice trails off. Silence descends onto the room. I gently pull him closer and hug him. It's good that such a thing didn't happen. His palm rests against my back.
Yes, I'm very lucky.
I look up at him as his nose brushes against my cheek. He nuzzles me, and his cool lips move closer to the corner of my mouth. It happens once, and then it happens again.
It's wonderful that you're by my side.
In the middle of the night, I'm jolted awake by a familiar surge of energy. I plan to get up while not waking Zayne so I can investigate, but a warm hand grabs me as soon as I sit up.
What's wrong? Is there another energy fluctuation?
Yeah, it's somewhere in the tower.
I'll go with you.
Heading to the source of the energy fluctuations, we arrive at the entrance of the library. The door is slightly ajar, and a faint light seeps through the gap. My watch hasn't gone off. Maybe it's like what happened before with the spatial anomaly. I place my hand on the door, and Zayne's hand is soon next to mine.
Let's see what happens.
As the library door opens, we discover all the ice jasmines have blossomed. Reminiscent of a sea of flowers, their petals sway. The jasmines bloomed? It happened overnight. Is it related to the energy fluctuations?
Regardless of the reason, we won't be left with any regrets about our trip.
The rain outside has stopped before we realized it. Pure and brilliant, moonlight streams through the skylight. Under the moonlight, Zayne's features are softened to the point where they exude a rare gentleness. He smiles and holds out his hand to me.
Finding this tower is a miracle in itself. It'd be a shame to let the moonlight and flowers go to waste.
I take his hand, and together we step into the sea of jasmines. Resonant energy hums between our joined palms. Suddenly, countless shimmering particles of light swirl around us. Once they disperse, Zayne and I see our clothes have been transformed. Does a flower fairy live here? Like one who says hello by magically changing people's clothes? I look down at my ethereal gown. I can't help but do a little spin.
If there truly is a flower fairy, I believe I'm already standing before her.
In that case, as a flower fairy, I'd say you're the reason why these flowers bloomed. Zayne pauses.
Me?
Your presence made the fairy's heart blossom with happiness. That's why all these jasmines unfurled their petals. A tender joy reaches the corners of Zayne's eyes.
Well then, may I ask the flower fairy to grant my wish, since I made these flowers bloom?
Walk to the center of this sea of jasmines and make your wish. Maybe the fairy will appear before you, and together you'll walk across the rainbow bridge. Smiling, Zayne walks. Just as I lift my gown, ready to continue our impromptu fairy tale, I see Zayne raise his finger slightly. Ice crystals suddenly form beneath my feet, and they lift me into the air. Zayne?
A rainbow bridge might be beyond me, but I can offer steps under the moonlight. Is that good enough for Miss Fairy?
Not bad. Now then, sir, what is your wish?
The avarice of my wish is unyielding. Trading all the beauty in this world to make a reality wouldn't be enough. Yet what I have now...
Maybe what I want to exchange with you is simple, just like this.
But I want to give you so much more. One sentence, one embrace, one jasmine petal. They're not enough. Shall we dance?
Zayne.
Meeting you is the luckiest thing that has ever happened to me. Like these jasmines. After a never-ending winter, I met the one who brought spring into my life. This space may not last forever. However, I promise to give you more beautiful memories. Every day, starting from this moment.
This is already wonderful. But Zayne, you still haven't told me your wish.
I wish you could be happy for all of eternity. But an even greedier wish of mine is... I wish to be the person who's always by your side when you find happiness. I want to witness every flower bloom in our future together. Will you give me that chance?
I will.
Then, let us make a vow in a sea of jasmines. We'll always see the flowers bloom together.
Once we leave the campsite, Zayne and I return to our busy lives and work. The weekend finally arrives, and Zayne made arrangements for us to meet up. He said he'll fulfill the promise he made a while back.
Are you almost here? I'll come to meet you and pick up some seasonings along the way.
Almost. Give me 5 minutes. My gaze is drawn to a row of jasmines in full bloom outside the florist's. Those blossoming memories are still fresh in my mind. Actually, I'll meet you in 10 minutes. I hear the oven timer and Zayne's voice from the kitchen.
It's ready. Would you like some tea to go with it?
I watch Zayne concentrate on the oven. A slight twinge of guilt materializes. I was worried my wish wouldn't come true before, but now I'm more concerned about you giving up your weekend just to make it happen. You should be resting instead.
Nothing would make me happier than seeing you enjoy yourself.
I smile at him and point toward the low table in the living room. I put the jasmines there. They like sunlight, so don't move them somewhere else.
You're more worried about the jasmines. You weren't this concerned about me earlier.
Well, that's because... Zayne's gaze shifts to the TV in the living room, and I look at what caught his attention.
Most of the spatial anomalies that emerged recently have disappeared. The effects from this deep space tunnel disturbance are subsiding for now.
The screen cycles through aerial photographs of different spatial anomalies. I can't look away. I don't even understand why I'm fixated on this. After Zayne gently coughs, he moves in front of me and blocks my view of the TV.
You're upset.
That sounds less like a question and more like a statement. I'm not. It's just that the place we called home for a few days is probably gone now. And those iced jasmines, I wonder if they'll bloom again. I trail off as I ask myself what I miss more, the tower or the jasmines.
Of course they will.
I look into Zayne's eyes and finally realize what's important to me. I'm worried that the dreamy days we share might eventually fade away.
Since we made a vow in the Sea of Jasmines.
Zayne leads me to the living room. The white jasmines sway in the breeze.
We'll always see the flowers bloom together.
He embraces me from behind, and his arms tighten around my waist.
I promise.
Those words land in my ears as I look at the jasmines in full bloom. They must have heard his promise too.